Welcome back to the Challenger League Korea. I am Wolf, with me as Calder. We're here for Season 2. We're in our final best of 3. We're going to take a look, of course, a short little recap of our last match. We had Effort 2-0 Yoda, and he will play against whoever falls out in third place of the OSL.
Yeah, the next game is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss, and as mentioned before, we have another LGIM player today. We have Ruin, and he is going up against SOS now. So Yoda in the last series, a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, very underwhelming.
Yeah, compared to what we've seen from him just at the weekend. But Effort, of course, with a great performance, exploiting his opponent's weaknesses, using those gaps in his opponent's defense for run-bys, and then just pressuring the Terran player. Defending quite well against the parade pushes that we saw out of Yoda, and taking the series with the 2-0.
Yeah. And now, I'd have to say just one last note on that last best of 3. I feel like this could affect the GSTL a little bit too, because Yoda was the all-killer, and he's a strong player for their team, and this may demotivate him a little bit going into their next playoff match.
That's true.
But let's move into our final best of 3 now. Protoss vs. Protoss, another LGIM player, Ruin. He's got to prove himself today. He's up against SOS, a player who already has proven himself in the past.
Yeah, Ruin definitely, well, he actually took down Balloon, the Startail Protoss player, in a PvP with the 2-0 in the first round. Now he has to play his second Protoss vs. Protoss. SOS dropped down from the Premier League and has now faced his opponent on Newkirk being the first map, and of course SOS being a great player.
Best builds for Newkirk for Protoss vs. Protoss are generally Stargate oriented. You will sometimes see players go for Oracles on this map, but Phoenix is much more common just because if one player goes for Phoenix, one player goes for an Oracle, they both pass each other on that arrow distance, then the player who goes Phoenix is always going to have the advantage there and just kill the Oracle outright. Not necessarily what we're going to see, but that's what I would expect, considering that there's just such an easy rush distance by air where you can freely fly your Phoenixes and or Oracles across the map.
SOS just got the invite into the game, so we are just seconds away from starting the countdown here and heading into the first map of our last best of 3 of the day.
Yep. Both players stretching out, getting ready. And, you know, both of them looking very confident here. I would say, just looking at their faces in the booth, neither of them looks apprehensive at all.
SOS, of course, being the huge favorite in this series, but, well, we will see what exactly Ruin can do. Could cause an upset here if he's able to take down SOS. And he already defeated an opponent in the first round, a Protoss player. Balloon is an up-and-comer, so he's not on the same level as SOS by any means. But let's see what Ruin can do here. The second LGIM player to play today, going up against SOS now on Newkirk. Map number 1 here, the WCS Challenger League with Paul and Wolf. Starting in orange at the bottom right of Newkirk, we have for LGIM.
LGIM Ruin.
Hits his pylon much faster than his opponents somehow.
Took out Balloon in the first round of the Challenger League with a 2-0. He's up against another Protoss player now. Starting to the bottom left for Wounding Stars, we have
웅진 스타즈 SOS.
Because SOS is going for a 10 game, so he hits his pylon more close to 10 because he doesn't need it to make the additional probe. All he needs for it to do is finish so he can make the gateway. So what to me originally looked like a mistake was actually totally fine. He's going to get that pylon a little bit later on purpose so he can save the mining time, getting just a few extra minerals that way.
What's really crazy is if we actually look at the statistics for the two guys here. Ruin, we don't have too much data on him, of course. He 2-0'd Balloon in the first round. He lost against Squirtle, that was back in May, and in April he 2-0'd Extreme. Those are the 3 Protoss players that he faced so far. And ignore the data that you see here on screen, that's Wings of Liberty as well. If you look at the Heart of the Swarm data for SOS, it's actually incredible. He won the last 11 maps against Protoss in a row. In the last 11 maps, he didn't drop a single map. He won against Parting, Jungbi, Stalk, Hero, Alicia, Classic, Parting, and against Mexat. So he has like the most incredible track record against Protoss these days. Yeah. In general, he has of 25 maps played, he has won 19, which leaves him with a 76% win ratio. But he didn't lose a game since May. At the beginning of May, he lost a single map against Zest and against Mini. but since then he hasn't lost a single match against Protoss offline.
I want to talk about SOS, and part of the reason why he may have won some of these Protoss versus Protoss is he's so good at scouting. He rushed that core, and he's spending all of his gas on this extremely fast Mothership core. So many players would play this map out, try to scout what they can, and then you scout with their probe and their additional stalker pressure and hope for the best, or maybe go for a normal Mothership core timing. But in this case, SOS has a super fast Mothership core, so he's going to get in there and potentially not only harass, but make sure that he knows exactly what's going on. A very aggressive scout here, and I like it a lot. And scouting is what sometimes can win you a lot of PvPs.
Mothership core is already halfway across the map. We have, of course, to the bottom left also a probe by Rune trying to find out what's going on here. He's going to escape. Stalker is not going to hunt it down. And we have Rune now with his own Stalker in the main base, but he moves it into the middle of the map, so he needs to bring that back if he wants to defend against the Mothership core.
I see just a clear difference here. Not only is the Mothership core killing probes now, but it sees the two gateways, whereas the probe didn't get to see anything. That's just how much more effective this type of scouting can be to get information. 3 probe kills already, and it looks like he's even going to go for the 4th on the recall. Gotta be careful, though.
Yeah, gets just out there. I mean, he loses a couple of hit points, but 4 kills on a Mothership core, that's of course a great start into the game.
Starts his own Stargate after seeing his opponent went for double gates, and he starts a Nexus.
There's the Stargate. We talked about this a little bit earlier. On a map like Newkirk, Stargate is of course always an option in the PvP. It's kind of the go-to build.
He's going to spot this Nexus as well. Insanely good scout information. This is one of those builds that you can do on a map that just seems like the smartest thing to do, because you see everything, you know everything, and you leave nothing up to chance. There's no chance involved with this opening from SOS.
And talking a little bit about scouting in general, it's going to be so difficult for Rune to find out what the top choice for SOS is, because that Stargate is tucked away neatly to the bottom left of the main base of the Wounding Stars player. And here comes now this Oracle. We have, on the other hand, the robotics for Rune, so this is going to be really difficult. If Rune doesn't have any units in his own mineral line when that Oracle arrives, he is going to lose a lot of additional workers, and with the 4 that he lost already early on, that is going to give him a huge disadvantage.
Yeah. Right now it's the 6 Harvesters different, even SOS at 30 to 24 right now. His Nexus is about to complete. A fake Oracle comes in first.
I don't know how much I like that. Because the fake Oracle, of course, you might say, okay, I just sent this out, and then he will assume that the second Oracle is also an hallucination. But if you actually leave some units over, and then, oh, we have a fake Colossus.
That's really weird.
He's trying to wait him out with a tank. But he goes for robotics, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that fake Colossus. He made it in range of the hallucination.
Here comes the second. There's
the Oracle.
nothing.
He thought it was just a scout. He thought it was just purely a scout, and it's not the case.
He didn't see it. He just didn't see it. Well, there we go, but already 5 kills, and things are looking really good for SOS in this series.
Yeah, definitely so. Ruin is already down 16 supply, and his tech is awkward. I mean, he's up against Phoenix tech that he just scouted, but it's very late for him to know this. And now what does he do against Phoenixes at this point? Can he try to switch? Not really going to work out.
10 Harvesters killed in total by SOS so far. Rune is 20 supply down. And he's starting with a proxy double Stargate.
This is one of the best choices he can make, because yes, it is a huge risk, but with this type of play, he can catch up on the Phoenix count. It's the only way he can, and it's going to throw SOS off if he can get away with it only.
I think the last time that I've seen this in a PvP was when I watched Sasa versus MC all the way back in Wings of Liberty last year. That was a crazy series. And now we have the double proxy Stargate. That could actually be really good. Those Phoenixes are not going to do too much, taking down a couple of Harvesters, focusing mostly on the gas mining probes. That's what you usually see, trying to take down the Mothership core, but
really patient there by Ruin. A lot of players would have actually used the overcharge to try to save it. And now he's continuing to hide these. If SOS scouts this, then Ruin will likely lose the game, but as it is, he may be able to catch up here.
Yep.
This is a cool idea. I really do respect this choice by Ruin quite a lot.
SOS transitions now into the robotics bay, gets this tech out too. He's still ahead in the overall count. We have the one Oracle to the right side of the map, so he could move into the main base and try to do some damage and then move over to the natural. But always Rune very patient, both mineral lines being protected here. The Mothership core is being attacked. and still he doesn't use the photon overcharge. Very patient here with his energy, but loses a few of the probes in the process.
Yeah. Insanely good control by SOS. Pulls back the weakened Phoenix during all of this. And also, oh, here we go. Interception time. He's got more hit points. 4 Phoenixes beat 4 when you have more hit points on the 4 from Ruin here.
Nice, 2 already down. Those Phoenixes locked in the battle. 8 my career so far by Ruin, and he takes down the last Phoenix. Well played so far.
Yeah, SOS immediately starts his own second Stargate.
Yeah, fight fire with fire.
You have to in this case, because you can't just make Colossi and hope for the best.
Yeah, Colossi against Phoenixes. That's usually a very uneven match.
So he's making cannons even, and he has the upgrade lead. That's really, really important to note, especially because he also has a Twilight Council, so he can get charge first and +2 first. Ruin has tried to even up the tides here, but SOS still trying to stay one step ahead.
Yeah, SOS is also, he's ahead in supply. He's taking that third base a lot faster than his opponent. The Phoenix is now trying to move into the main base. Revelation being used by the Oracle that just barely escapes. 2 additional kills on the Oracle. The Photon Overcharge in the main base at the bottom left, doing enough defense against Ruin's Phoenixes so that they have to back up for the time being.
Yeah. And
here comes the Oracle Scouts, the double stack.
Yeah, he sees this. He's not going to be able to kill it. He's just going to want to get out of there as soon as possible, hoping there's no more Phoenixes on the map, which is obviously not the case. There's still 3 left, which do find a Stalker to kill. If he can reveal those Phoenixes, that would at least be something the Oracle could do. The Phoenix is already trying to go and hunt it. Blink is started, and he's got Immortals on the way. Both players trying to transition here.
Yeah, the problem for Ruin really being that there's already a third base, so he's a little bit on the clock. Catching up in economy is going to be very difficult for him to accomplish. And on top of the added economy that we see for SOS, he's also the one who has a very good tech out there. Going not only into Blink, but already done with the Robotic Spay. And this third base is just not even scouted. Ruin doesn't know, and therefore he doesn't see a need to either attack or expand.
Yeah, he's about to get his first glimpse. Just seeing these units here alone tells him, uh-oh, and now he comes in. He's going to try to get a probe or 2, but that's not going to be enough. He needs to do something drastic now.
He's trying to take his own third base, and this is of course going to be a little bit difficult for him, because this is so late compared to the third that we see for SOS here. And the Protoss player of Wounding Stars is already just running with the advantage that he has, getting the extra upgrades out there. +2 attack has been started even before Ruin finishes his own +1.
Yeah. Blink is about to be done. First Colossus is on the way for Ruin. He has that one advantage. And he's also trying to pick probes off left and right with these Phoenixes. He's done a lot of damage with them. Their investment was definitely worth it. He can't use DTs. First, he doesn't have a Twilight Council completed yet. Secondly, there are already cans all bases, something that was a precaution for the Phoenixes, which also works well against the DTs.
Here comes the Twilight Council now for Ruin. He wants to have access to the +2 attack upgrade and of course his own Blink. But we already see SOS heading into the Templar Archive, so he's adding the extra attack. Ruin is trying to follow suit here, but now Blink is done and another Phoenix has to pay the price.
SOS is going to try to deny this base. It looks like he's 20 army supply up right now and 30 supply up in total. He has a lot of gateways to back this up. He's going to have +2 as well.
SOS is just not letting Ruin catch up here. He knows that he is far ahead in economy, and that results in him having the better army, bigger and better upgrades, and now he's moving in with everything that he has. Another Blink forward could have ended the life of those 2 Phoenixes here. He doesn't want to use the cooldown just yet. Goes for the pylon, has the Warp Prism on the way, charges halfway complete, and as soon as the +2 attack upgrade is done, we will see a very aggressive player here trying to end the life of Ruin in game number 1.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least end his third base. If he trades evenly and kills the third, then he just remaxes faster because he has a better economy. Those Archons, everything walking across the map now. A few Colossi coming out here for Ruin. He's trying to make those his saving grace here. He also has the Mothership Core for not only the Overcharge, which we do see a little bit too early here, and Time Warps. Time Warp is definitely something that we will see at least one of.
The Warp Prism heading into the main base and a Zealot Warp in while the third is being attacked would be the worst thing for Ruin to deal with right now. +3 attack has been started. He's still waiting for a charge. Here comes the Warp in that we talked about. The Phoenix is a little bit too late, and all those Stalkers when Zealots do so much damage. Here comes the attack at the third.
The attack at the third is good here. Baits an Overcharge in the main base, which means no Time Warps to the battle. He actually just targets the Nexus down, which is going to draw a huge warp in. He wants to wait for that overcharge to be done here at the third base. It's about to be done. Here's the time warp for SOS. He traps not only the Colossi, but all the Immortals at the back. The Zealots charging through here.
The Colossus is already gone. Time warps on both sides. And now we have, of course, the army of SOS just going to town, moving in, and especially the Archons leading the charge here, melting away those Zealots.
Melting away the Zealots. The Immortals really struggling under that time warp. And as soon as he blinks forward on top of that Colossus, this may end the game. GG!
SOS is now 12-0 against Protoss.
And he wants to make it a 13 here in advance to the third round. Rough game for Ruin. SOS, to be quite frank, had the better build. He scouted better. With that early scout, he knew exactly how to open with the Phoenixes. Ruin's double Stargate counter was something that he tried to use just to put him on even footing, but he just wasn't quite able to. He made it worth it, but it wasn't overwhelming. If he had been able to do a ton with the Phoenixes instead of just trying to put himself on even footing, or had he seen the third base dealer earlier, maybe he could have done something with that.
But the third, where he scouted that so late. And let's not forget about the start here with the Oracle. It was not only the Mothership core that took out 4 kills, but then the Oracle later on had so many worker kills. So that was definitely a blow to the economy of Ruin. SOS run with that early lead. And now we're going into game number 2 on Belcher Vestige.
Yeah, Belcher Vestige is another 2-player map. Very different strategies on this map because you don't have that air distance, so could see anything here really. Most likely just both players taking a very fast early expand. I was very impressed with SOS's opening. He's trying to calm himself down here. He has his eyes clenched tight there for just a moment.
SOS definitely on a roll in this matchup. And Ruin, he didn't look too bad considering that he was going up against one of the best players that we have in Korea now. But still, that was a great game here by SOS. And game number 2 has already started. We are jumping into the map now. The WCS Challenger League. We have our last best of 3 of the day. It is SOS versus Ruin in PvP. The Challenger League with Paul on Wolf.